Hi guys, welcome back. So today we've got this W205 C63 AMG S in. So it's a 4-litre twin turbocharged model. So it's a customer supplied car. So we're just doing some ECU tuning on it. It's got installed some catalyst downpipes, CSF heat exchanger, and then also some hybrid turbochargers as well. So it's already got a stage 2 tune on it from another sort of like software developer. So yeah, we're going to custom tune it for this customer. Stage 1, these cars usually make about 575 horsepower on our dyno. Stage 2, about sort of 590. So obviously with the bigger turbochargers, we can run a little bit more boost as well. So hopefully you should be seeing somewhere in sort of like the high 600s and also around sort of like the 900 plus Newton meters of torque, sort of like power level as well. Yeah, so we're going to start tuning the car, walk you through the process and show you the results later on. Okay, so we're back on the dyno. So we finished off the ECU tuning and also done some wheel alignment as well. So we've got the finished off roll graph behind us, showing the power, which is in red, and then the torque, which is in blue. So obviously stage 1 cars we mentioned earlier should make about 570 horsepower, and then stage 2 cars are around about 590. And this particular car, with obviously the addition of the hybrid turbos and then the CSF heat exchanger, is making around 690 horsepower at peak and about 650 foot-pounds of torque as well. So obviously a massive gain over and above like a stage 2 or a stage 1 car. So obviously the graph by itself doesn't really illustrate what the differences are between like a stage 1 or stage 2 car. So we're going to load up a stage 1 car that was tuned by another tuner and then just do like a comparison for you so you can see what the differences are. Okay, so we've got the comparison behind us. So with the dotted line, you can see a stage 1 C63 AMG tuned by another tuner, so it's not our tune. And then the solid lines, you have this C63 AMG with our stage 2 tune. So as you can see, big gains across the rev range from 3,500 revs right to the end of the rev range. And that's basically because the larger turbochargers can basically support the volume of air, the boost level that's required at the higher RPMs. So just to illustrate some of the differences, on like a C63 AMG that's stage 1, at around about like 5,400 RPM, you start to see the power tail off. Whereas with this particular car, the power just keeps on increasing right to the rev limit. And then also the torque starts to tail off quite dramatically, as you can see, at around about, about 4,700 RPM, and then tails off right to the end of the rev range. Whereas this particular car just keeps on increasing and basically can sustain the boost right until the end of the rev range for more torque, more horsepower. So versus sort of like a stage 1, you're seeing about another 100 horsepower, 100 foot-pounds of torque at that 5,400 RPM, then obviously climbing to that new figure of about 690 horsepower at the rev limit. So yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile upgrade to do on these C63 AMGs. If stage 1, stage 2 power isn't enough for you, then put on some bigger turbos. CSF heat exchanger is quite important for keeping the charge temperatures consistently cooler than the standard one. It's especially important on hot days when you've got higher boost levels than standard as well. The standard heat exchanger really struggles to keep the charge temps cool, and that's obviously going to sort of like restrict what the power is going to be, because as the charge temps start to increase, the ECU will basically automatically add more fuel in, reduce the ignition, reduce the boost levels. So by having that heat exchanger in there, you can enjoy more of the power for longer as well. Yeah, so we're going to hand the car over to the customer and see what he thinks.